Lore Olympus, the webcomic sensation that, much like the mythology it draws from, is equal parts immaculate tragedy and irrevocably horny rom-com. Look at this panel. That's a horny panel. Now, because Lore Olympus is a modern take on our favorite pantheon of messy bitches, I thought a fun idea would be to look at the historical roots of the gods and goddesses and explain why this is a near-perfect update. I was wrong. That video sucked. I think it's odd that our introduction to Aphrodite is one of a petulant prankster, but one must remember that for the ancient Greeks, love was not a transformative thing of beauty, but rather an affliction, a hex that plagued men, drove them mad, the thing that would make you stray from duty. Enrapturing! So rather than bore you with information I got from reading books, by the way, are terrible and have done nothing good for society, hashtag burn all books, what if I could bestow unto thee useful knowledge? Partake of my apple, whispered the serpent like a Nazi. I will steal stories from Neme, but hubris will lead to my jar, shattering, thereby spilling knowledge into the world. Like the cursed Titan Prometheus, I will bestow unto thee the means to ascend to godhood. Today, I'm going to show you how to perfectly color code your Lore Olympus OC. As pointed out in the first Q&A, color in Lore Olympus is not random, and more than just providing a distinct pop. You see what I'm doing there, right? You see? I believe there is a hidden layer of characterization behind each color, so let's go over them, shall we, with the power of my... a color wheel! It's not a perfect color wheel, but it was an impulse buy, now I have to justify the purchase. Starting with gold, we got Helios, Hep, Ares, and Hera. My effervescent and radiant goddess, I am not worthy of your divine punishment, but I'd really like it. Gold is typically associated with excess, riches, royalty, love, compassion, and wisdom. Unique to Lore Olympus is pride. Gold characters know they're important, and it's because they are. And a recurring motif throughout the story is that gold characters tend to be privy to information other characters tend to miss. Knowledge! Hera is the first character to realize there's something fishy with this Apollo character. Ares is the first character to state out loud that Persephone is a fertility goddess. Hep knows there's something more going on with her parents bickering. Helios is the person to see Persephone's act of wrath. Back to compassion, because there's a softer side to gold. Both Ares and Hera are team Persephone. Hera is the first person to notice Persephone's going through some shit. Ares fights to protect both his mom and his girlfriend from his mega prick dad. Hep, you're just a little cutie. Helios gets sentimental about his boo thing. Hey man, maybe don't tell Thanatos you want to make out with his mom. He's literally right there. Combination of status, power, and wisdom can lead to a somewhat justified sense of superiority in gold. You're not gonna rub it in, but you know who brought the best fit to the function. Ooh. But it isn't all peaches and cream for the golds. What you make up for in regalia, you lack in emotional honesty. Gold characters struggle to open up. Ares, if you'd have been honest, Persephone probably still would have made out with you, guy. She mostly did it because you're warm body in there. Can relate, brother. Hep can't say, Mom, Dad, your constant arguments are driving a wedge between me and healthy relationships. But she's thinking it. And Hera, if you could just be honest to Zeus about your insecurities, both personally and within the marriage, this is one of the few adaptations where I think you two crazy kids could make it. Also, real quick tangent, but it's weird that Hera is consistently portrayed as a villain throughout adaptations when her main complaint is that her husband won't stop cheating on her. Before we move on, we need to discuss eye color. It's less snapshot, zodiac sign, and easily identifiable list of characteristics and more character specific. Ares has red eyes because he sees in red. Do you get it, Cap? He's an angry boy. Because it's more character specific, we'll deal with it as it comes up. Your Lore Olympus OC is gold if they know your worth, Queen. Are up on the hottest goss. Have a soft side, but will murder if you bring it up. And you just gotta talk about it, man. I promise it gets better. I promise you. Orange, yellow. Yellow, orange. Orange is typically associated with enthusiasm, creativity, and success. And unique to Lore Olympus is that orange characters tend to have gold characteristics, but dialed down. Whereas gold characters can be perceived as humble bragging because you just might be. No one claims that about oranges. This humble nature tends to keep them background players, and I am very curious to see where Hephaestus goes as the story progresses, because at the time of recording, this is the latest chapter. Also, real quick aside, and if you didn't think there would be a bunch of asides from me, particularly talking about Greek mythology, well, I'm sorry, friend, you've come to the wrong channel, but as a kid, my mom got me this book, and it was all the classic Greek myths, but, dialed down a little bit for kids. When it got to Hephaestus, it said that he was so lame that Zeus chucked him off Mount Olympus, and I, being 6, didn't know lame meant crippled, so I was just like, oh man, Zeus was like, look at how unrad this baby is! Oh! God. Oh, loser baby, no titty milk for you! So then I ran up and I told my mom. I was like, oh no, I've raised a monster. Because of this humble nature, oranges tend to be more in the background. Your characterization is inferred. See that Hesta is an enthusiastic go-getter. Consistently, both of them have successful business ventures. Orange is good with money, y'all. And because you're gold but with the volume turned down, you don't have the vulnerability hang-up. See that both Hesta and Helios have deep, meaningful, and healthy partnerships. Lore Olympus OC is orange if you 10.5 nights in. Don't have entrepreneur in your bio because you actually are one. And you're not afraid to be hurt. You got this. Red. We got Hermes and Minthi. Red is typically associated with seduction, passion, and anger. But that's more specific to eye color. Unique to Lore Olympus is mischievousness, now tricks of the little devils, and honesty. Red characters lack a filter. It's that red-hot passion, just say whatever you're thinking. Hermes is clearly a bad liar, and he's the first character to tell Apollo to his face, hey buddy, you're being a creepy asshole. He even goes as far as to tell Thanatos, Theseus, and Minthi what it is. Ah, Minthi, my self-sabotaging cycle of bad habits and chain smoking. I love you. I'd romance you into dating sim, but it wouldn't be the canon Let's Play. You got a group chat just for being petty. I'm all about this. Minthi herself demonstrates this trait, but albeit in a more toxic way, because she isn't wrong when she says that Hades looks like his dad. I don't want to touch that. I don't think she was being malicious when she said that Hades and Persephone are different people. She was just being honest, and she can't help it. It isn't all binge drinking and chain smoking for the Reds. You live in extremes. You're either a good boy himbo puppy or a self-destructing hellfire thought. Gaia, I love it. Your Lore Olympus OC is red if they are not preoccupied with making a good or a bad first impression. They're making a lasting one. Can do hot girl shit in the middle of winter. Know for a fact they are the hottest person in this club. Suck it, golds. Who can say? Silver. It was an impulse buy. Please play along. Yeah, I got some hang-ups about not being gold. Thanatos and Theseus, please let me in your group chat. I was born for this. Like its cousin gold, silver is often associated with glamour, riches, sophistication, and a sleek modern design. Unique to Lore Olympus would be insecurity and cynicism. Orange is gold with the volume dialed down. Silver is gold with the heat turned off. Radiant is the golden sun. Silver is the moon, an enigma, lost and alone in the night. Both the T-Kids slide right into the modern era. We've never seen Theseus in the mortal realm, and Thanatos would rather take the train than fly? That's fucking lame. And again, group chat, let me in. But it isn't all skinny jeans and high fashion riding in the G-Wagon. Literally, my life is literally for silver. So y'all took me in second place way too close to home. Theseus is passionately jealous of Hera, and when Minthi is able to make her relationship with Hades #Facebook official, she does everything within her power to sabotage this relationship, both out of jealousy and fear that Minthi will be able to climb that social, climb the social ladder. There, got it. I'm the best. Oh, Thanatos, you sweet dumb idiot. You gotta listen to Hermes, man. She's just not that into you. And even outside of his relationship with Minthi, he feels disrespected and insecure about not being an Olympian. Silvers seek relationships for convenience and comfort, ones that already confirm your bias, and the idea of a relationship being a healthy thing is secondary. and it's not required. However, uniquely to the silvers is eye color, which tends to be more character specific, but is a recurring theme with you guys. Like Aries sees in red, silvers see the world in shades of blue. Y'all come predisposed with a cynical and downer worldview. But it isn't all lost a sea of misery and sorrow for you sad sacks. Thanatos could be developing a relationship with Daphne. Whether or not this will happen being predicated on his willingness towards self-reflection, grappling with his feelings of insecurities, and why he feels them. There's hope for Silver. Second place is an accomplishment, and a little cynicism is healthy. Y'all just need someone to look outside yourself, point out these foibles. The best you is out there. It just takes time. Your Lore Olympus OC is silver. If they were not born in the wrong time. Oh, what a beautiful time to be alive. Only 5 of my 15 children died. We all have polio and I can't vote. Listen, I know what they said, but they are not going to leave their spouse for you. Kimberly's really nice. You should at least try it with this person. I know your dad likes to pretend he came up with the quote. Second place is just the first person to lose. But that's just from a dumb movie no one remembers. And it's really harmful. You gotta stop sharing her nigga hours memes. Purple. The dumbass color. Fun fact, purple is my favorite color. Thanks for the association with something awful, Tenet and Apollo. You got Artemis. You can break my legs, and I'm more into that than I care to admit. And Apollo. I recently found out the fandom refers to him as Ass-Apollo, and that I love that. That's such a great school diss. What up, Ass-Apollo? Purple is typically associated with luxury, nobility, power, and ambition. Unique to Lore Olympus would be heart and ego. Purples tend to have higher social status, but you can't fix stupid, and y'all are so dumb. I kid, but it's more lacking in emotional intelligence. Purples tend to leave heart first, not thinking about the consequences of their actions. Aphrodite took the whole story in motion with a prank. They're gods, so drugging someone counts as a prank. Artemis does not even consider the ramifications of her actions after the fact. She's like, Demeter, you're a helicopter parent. Persephone, do you want to come live with me in my sick house? This unlocks the core conspiracy because it was bruised ego. Yeah, see, bruised egos, we're bringing it, tying it all together. That's a bow tie joke. I'm lame. And Apollo, oh. Oh boy. Trigger warning. Lore Olympus deals with themes of abuse, sexual assault, and trauma. If these topics are uncomfortable for you, please skip to this timestamp. Apollo is a rapist. This is something he does without thinking of the consequences or fallout of his actions, merely for his own self-gratification. And because of his inflated sense of self, he can't even fathom that what he did was wrong. Apollo, more like Narcissus. Can you tell I'd rather be talking about anything else? Eye color. Okay, wait, yeah, no, that's really interesting. Bringing eye color back, because how it's used with Apollo is fascinating. Where other characters' eyes would be red to denote anger, Apollo's are golden. That's not anger. That's pride. How could you be upset with me? I'm me. I'm perfect. That is sinister and subtle characterization, and it was not lost on me. Also, yellow is typically associated with fear, like, you know, yellow belly, but I've never seen it. It's a fucking banana, dude. The banana tree is the ultimate enemy of the Green Lantern. It's also important to remember that Apollo is an outlier and does not speak for all purples. Your hearts tend to be in the right place, but oh, Papa Legby was emotional intelligence y'all's dumpster. Aphrodite, the solution to your son's first heartbreak wasn't pseudosexual mind games and a Greek tragedy, but Quetzalcoatl, I love it. Zeus knows he's a terrible husband and wants desperately to make it better, but he doesn't know where to start or how to even begin. Hey man, maybe listen to Hera and stop cheating on her. You could try like polyamory, an open thing maybe. It's not a end-all be-all to every solution, but you won't be constantly betraying your wife's trust. Just a thought. Artemis doesn't even notice that her best friend is severely traumatized and cannot stand the sight of her older brother. And Apollo, oh, sweet Modi Apollo. Look, it is an extreme form of narcissism to have someone say to your face, I hate you and you make me uncomfortable, and you can still walk out of that and be like, nah, I don't see the problem. I'm perfect. fear not, it isn't all emotional ignorance and pride for the purples. Salvation and proof of my theory that purples think with their hearts and not their head comes in the form of this adorable cupcake, Megara, the true hero of Lore Olympus. Hades, how could you hurt this sweet girl? Megara feels at an 11. Everything is intense. She doesn't always read the room like her interactions with Hades. And she doesn't think about the consequences of confronting Minty. She just knows that her heart says something is wrong and someone needs to speak truth to power. Respect. Your Lore Olympus OC is purple if they got a big heart, no brains. Verified on Twitter, but it hasn't changed me. You know, this is my good side. Make sure you get one of these. Fitness Bay? Yes, Father, I would also leap across the pit, for I am immortal. You're just Storkules. Purples are y'all Storkules. It's just Storkules. Purples are fucking Storkules. Blue. Hades, crush my skull with your power thighs, you post P90X snow miser, you. I am correct. You'll never unsee it, and you're welcome. Hecate. Definitely the one I'm romancing in the Lore Olympus dating sim. But Prince Devin, I hear you crying out. Doesn't Hera have that top energy you're all about? Yes, but Hecate is a witch. And if there's one thing I've learned about queers, it's that they all love witchcraft and plants, thus making Hecate a powerful queer. And as my ex once pointed out to me, you just like powerful queers. Why would you curse me like this? I can never unshatter that glass. Blue is a calming color, typically associated with serenity, tranquility, reliability, and inspiration. And unique to Lore Olympus, financial flexibility? Alright. Full disclosure, it's a little harder to pin down characteristics for Blue because Hades is the main character. There are less archetypical broad strokes to pin down. Blue was selected so Persephone would pop against him and stand out in the underworld. It's the one thing the underworld's missing. You get it. But fear not, there are things you can learn from having a blue Lore Olympus OC. Reliability is key. Hecate is Hades' right-hand man and will always help a friend in need. Hades himself is at Persephone's beck and call. Simp boy! Y'all are also good with business. Both Hades and Hecate spend money like it's burning a hole in their pocket. And newcomer Echo has a cold exterior but a keen eye for the corporate world. Hashtag girl boss! Blues are hesitant towards kinship. But once those bonds are formed, they are nigh unbreakable and will fight fiercely to protect them. Y'all are like pit bulls who spend money like rappers. So Pitbull? Down. But it isn't all financial liberty and reliability for the Blues. Y'all got murder tendencies. The kind of cerebral punishment that can only come from the cold, dead eyes of a serial killer. Although this violent nature in Hades tends to manifest as black, but I'd like to think that's more of the cold darkness of space. It's a parallel to his father because Kronos space and I'm black, but that's like melanin. It's not like deep space and Speaking of eye color, Hecate's are yellow, but that's not pride. That's power and fear. Your Lore Olympus OC is blue if they are not related to me, but yes, they are my emergency contact. She was a businessy businesswoman all about business. Treat yourself! Why do you take so many notes when we listen to true crime podcasts? Green. Demeter, Poseidon, and these two normies. Green is typically associated with nature, tranquility, good fortune, and jealousy. And unique to Lore Olympus is a sort of naive purity. Demeter and Poseidon are both tremendously powerful, but they're a little more than side characters. Tranquility and nature are key here. The nature motif even runs through non-godly characters. It is the standard color for both centaurs and satyrs, but no minotaur. Quick aside about the minotaur. His name is Asterion. Do you get it? Also, my favorite thing about the Minotaur is he has flat teeth. How does he eat people? Hey, King Midas, if you don't want your son to grow up to be an asocial monster, maybe don't lock him in a labyrinth with no sunlight and the only human contact he gets is eating people. The Minotaur from Hades, the other Greek mythology thing that is irrevocably horny, seems well adjusted. He's also yoked. Man, how are you on a calorie surplus if your diet is only people? How calorically dense are people? I need to Google this. Apparently it's a fool's errand eating people because you expend more calories eating them than you gain from them. Why do we have studies on that? These minor roles tend to suggest that greens are truly not obsessed with the machinations of gods or social status. Demeter just wanted the best for a daughter. Poseidon just wanted the perks of being king. And this satyr just wanted to go to college. But it isn't all peace and love, man, for the greens. Nature is powerful and can reach unimaginable magnitudes of destruction. Demeter is the definition of a helicopter parent, and in true mythological fashion, the preventative actions she takes ensure her greatest fears come to pass. You didn't set Persephone up with the skills she needed in the real world, and now this. Poseidon, I love you. You're my favorite of the dumbass triumvirate, but buddy, I question how you don't forget to breathe. And I question the moral upbringing of anyone who's a member of the paparazzi. Your Lore Olympus OC is green if they love Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville but completely missed the point of that song. Or like a puppy, equal parts adorable and stupid. Just JPEG of Kirby with knife. That's so much more succinct than anything I could write. And sorry, not sorry, we have saved the best for last. Pink. I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried at this chapter. That's beautiful. We got Persephone, Daphne, and best boy Eros. And I know what you're thinking, Prince Devin, how come you've only brought up the girls you'd romance in a Lore Olympus dating OC? And that's because it's only Eros, fool. Beefy, blonde, slightly problematic, high energy dog boyfriend? That's the type! Pink is traditionally associated with love, kindness, and femininity, and unique to Lore Olympus is the duality of purity. Pink characters are absolute sweethearts who just want the best for everyone around them. And something about pinks makes you just want to open up. Get it off your chest, man. Eros is the first person Persephone opens up to about Apollo. Persephone herself gets the OG sad boy Hades to start talking. Daphne even gets Thanatos to open up. Come on! But it isn't all light and cheery with the pinks. Because of its close association to red, there's a hidden rage just below the surface. But I think a better word would be passion. Because purity is a double-edged sword. Feeling unperturbed does not come without consequences. The noblest of heroes make for the most contemptible of villains. Fall from grace and all that. However, it is worth noting this trait may be more specific to Eros and Persephone. We haven't seen enough of Daphne yet to know if she has this hidden anger, and if it is specific to those two, I believe it is tied to what they hold dominion over, the things they're the gods and goddesses of. I don't really know how to word that, Eros being a god of love, but love also encompasses heartbreak and sorrow. A broken heart is a dangerous thing. Persephone being a goddess of spring, and within spring is an unavoidable aspect of death. Spring gives way to winter, winter gives way to the death of plants. Memento mori. Remember, you are immortal and liable to die. Eros and Persephone commit acts of wrath, but interestingly enough, neither one of them is in full control of their faculties, being so overcome with emotions. Your Lore Olympus OC is pink if they're best boy, best girl, just the best. Snack, what the fuck? Just too pure for this world, and most likely to commit a crime of passion. And with that, friends, countrymen, and lovers, you have learned how to perfectly color-code your Lore Olympus OC. Go forth and create your own myths and legends. You don't know the exact series of events that lead you there, but now you know when your self-insert's making out with Nyx, you fucking degenerates, you'll know exactly what color they should be. That sounds kind of not great. Now that I'm saying it out loud, man. Good I'm not white. Oh, fuck, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so happy to be done. Holy. Fuck, I cannot think. I've been going for 6+ hours and I cannot think. Damned by some heavenly stigma, I'm blazing with light tonight. I'll plunder heaven blind, steal from all the odds tonight. I feel let's conquer all the gods and the odds tonight, and I feel I'll live on forever. Satan himself by my side, and I'll show the world that this is me being an old man, being like, the kids today even know that's from the Jekyll and Hyde